Before we formally start the press conference, I did want to say that all of us extend our greatest condolences to the people in Florida who were affected so dramatically yesterday by those events. People who inject untraceable firearms and machine guns into our communities put us all at risk. These weapons are particularly dangerous in the hands of gang members and criminals, and illegal firearms and felons with guns have no place in our communities. Therefore, the investigation and prosecution of unlicensed sellers, manufacturers, and straw purchasers of illegal firearms and prohibited persons has been and remains a top priority for this office in conjunction with our federal, state, and local law enforcement partners.
I want to first thank our partners, of which this would not be possible at all, this operation. From the U.S. Attorney's Office, thank you for your hard work. Our partners at ATF, thank you. They bring resources that go beyond just what Stockton PD can provide. And of course, the agents and officers who work at Stockton Police Department and are part of the ATF task force. We have to have that task force, this type of collaboration, to be able to address gun violence in Stockton in a way that our community deserves. They can bring resources, again, that can help us tackle through Operation Ceasefire and other methods to be very strategic in data and the way we approach our gun violence issue in Stockton. We look at this table, and these types of weapons we're seeing in Stockton are so important that we take these off the street. We've got some of these rifles that are being converted into fully automatic. We've got ghost guns, which are untraceable, and that's very difficult for us in law enforcement to be able to track where these firearms come from. And then the auto-sear device that goes into a handgun like that suddenly makes it a fully automatic weapon. These are weapons that need to be taken off our streets, and when I go over some of the numbers today, you'll see how successful, incredibly successful this was. And some of these weapons, over 100 through this case, taken off the streets, some of those weapons were actually, we believe, that are high confidence hits. They were used in some of our shootings, even some of our homicides in Stockton. So these weapons are being used for violent crime in the city of Stockton. So in April 2017, ATF partnered with the Stockton Police Department to initiate this long-term undercover operation targeting gun violence committed by criminal street gang members. The operation primarily focused on illegal trafficking of firearms. The involved gangs were Norteños, Glock Team, and West Side Bloods. These gangs have been responsible for inflicting a high level of violent crime in the Stockton community, including homicides and shootings. Because of this collaborative investigation, some names who have already been mentioned have been arrested. Arturo Napoles, 31 years old, a member of the Norteño and Glock Team associate, arrested for narcotics trafficking, firearms trafficking. Raul Diaz, 23-year-old Norteño gang member, for firearm manufacturing and trafficking, as well as a 17-year-old male, a West Side Blood associate for firearms trafficking. The following contraband was mostly recovered through undercover purchases during this investigation in the city of Stockton. 102 firearms, which consisted of various handguns, AK-47s, SKS, and AR-15 style rifles and pistols. Out of those 102 firearms, 37 were considered ghost guns, untraceable. 18 of the guns were believed to be straw purchased. 13 were suspected to be stolen from both within and outside the state. 12 were fully automatic handguns, and 11 were fully automatic rifles. In addition to these firearms, we also recovered 23 fully automatic machine guns, dozens of extended magazines, drum-style magazines, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and approximately 708 grams of crystal methamphetamine and 112 grams of powder cocaine. As I mentioned, several of these firearms recovered have already come back with what are known as high-confidence hits to some of the violent crimes committed in the city of Stockton. For the integrity of those investigations, since they are still active, I cannot discuss that further. I want to reinforce that those groups or individuals who continue to commit acts of gun violence in our community will be identified and will be the primary focus of the law enforcement community. And it just shows the extreme importance of the collaboration of local and federal agencies with that same mission in mind to make our communities a safer place. By partnering with ATF, we can begin to make even greater differences in our community, and I'm very appreciative of their work.
In early 2017, the Stockton Police Department identified a rise in violent crime, specifically crimes that involved firearms and gang members. Combating this rise in crime was a top priority. The department launched a task force, and soon after, ATF joined in the effort. Today, we can stand in front of you united and say that our initiative was a success, and the city of Stockton is a safer place.